Hello, I'm Rainy and I will be reporting to you about the extra cheese. So why is this cheese different? Because it's hard? Then why is it hard? This cheese get hard because they are low in fat and low in moisture. It has a brittle, hard texture, perfect for grating. They are aged up to 3 years to develop a more sharp flavor. Some examples of this extra hard cheese is Asiago cheese, Cotija cheese, Sapsago or Subsaiger cheese, Grana Padano, and Parmesan cheese, the most commonly known and used cheese. First, we get to know Asiago cheese. This cheese originated in Asiago, a province in Vicenza, Italy. This cheese used to use sheep's milk, but later on switched on using cow's milk because of the demand and the higher rate pay of customers. Example dishes for this cheese is Asiago toast, chicken Asiago spinach quiche. In this quiche, the cheese is used as a filling. It is mixed with the spinach to make the quiche. So how do you make Asiago cheese? Heat the milk to 95 to 97 Fahrenheit degree. When heated, add 1/8 tablespoon of TEO 61 culture, 1/16 tablespoon of LH100 culture. Allow milk to ripen for 30 minutes before adding rennet. So what is rennet? Rennet is a complex set of enzymes that help curdle the milk. You stir in the rennet and stir it until it will coagulate. Once the curd has firmed, it can be cut to small pieces. You stir for 15 to 20 minutes until they become firmer. Once the curd are firm, heat it to 106 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Hold it in this temperature while stirring slowly for 15 minutes. You drain the curds afterwards. Transfer the curds to a cloth-lined cheese mold. Press the curds on each side for 2 hours. Mold should be kept warm overnight. Brine the cheese on the third day at a rate of 3 hours per pound of cheese, aged for 30 to 40 days at 54 to 58 Fahrenheit. So this is Asiago cheese and its distinct characteristic. Both cheese and reed are pale and yellow, full flavored, mild, milky, and sharp. The original cheese is a sweet curd, semi-cooked and pasteurized cheese. Flavor is somehow between a Parmesan and aged cheddar. Compact, crumbly, open, and smooth, and it has a pungent aroma. Next is Cotija cheese. Cheese originated in Cotija, Mexico. A cheese similar to feta cheese because of its white appearance and salty taste, but it is hard and grainy like the Parmesan cheese or the Parmigiano Reggiano, thus gaining the nickname of Parmesan of Mexico. Some example of this cheese that is used in dishes is shrimp and cotija enchiladas with salsa verde and crema mexicana. A lot of corn and chicken quesadilla with cotija cheese. So as you can see in this second example, the cheese is grated. This proves that this extra hard cheese is perfect for grating. How to make cotija cheese? Heat the milk to 68 degrees for 30 minutes. Cool it down to 35 degrees Celsius. Add starter bacteria and annatto for coloring. Add rennet and curdles for 40 minutes. Once the curd has firmed, it can be cut into small pieces. Drain the curds. You salt the curds, mold it, and press into rounds. Age for 3 months to 1 year. So this is what cotija cheese looks like. It has an ivory in color, salty and strong flavor, made from unpasteurized cow's milk. Crumbly, firm, and dense, has the same kind of salty, sharp tang as Pecorino Romano. Next is Sapsago cheese. It originated in Glarus, Switzerland. In Switzerland, they call this Subsaiger, but in the US, they call it Sapsago. Made by the monks of Glarus since the 8th century, one of the most oldest protected cheese in the world. Some examples of dish that use this cheese is Subsaiger cream puffs, potato and bacon tart with Subsaiger crumble. So it is widely known as Subsaiger. Maybe American people are the only one who call this Sapsago. So how is it made? Heat the milk to 90 degrees Celsius, add acid to make it curdle, drain the curds and mature for 4 to 12 weeks, dry and ground to powder, you add salt and mature for another 8 months. Add the blue fenugreek and press into cone molds which are wrapped in foil. So blue fenugreek is a kind of clover. So the description and characteristic of this cheese, it has a pale green in color. It is produced from a skimmed cow's milk, not unpasteurized. So the blue fenugreek is the one that gives it a herbal aroma because it's clover, and it also gives a pale green color because of this blue fenugreek. High in protein and almost fat-free, dry, hard in texture, pungent, salty, and sweet in taste. Next is Grana Padano. This cheese looks like Parmesan cheese. It originated in Po River Valley in Italy. It was started in year 1000 when monks and Cistercian monks found a way to store excess milk. It was called old cheese by the monks, but later on given another name by the people and called Formaggio di Grana, which means grainy cheese in English. Sample dishes for this cheese is Grana Padano crisp with thyme and pink pepper, pan-fried chicken with Grana Padano crust. So, how'd you make this one? The raw milk produced in the area is placed in a copper cauldron. This one here, each cauldron produces 2 wheels of cheese. Add the whey produced the day before. Bring the milk to 31 to 33 degrees Celsius. Add rennet for it to curdle. Break down the curds until it reaches 53 to 56 degrees Celsius. Leave the curd to rest under the whey for 30 to 70 minutes to let the cheese firm. Cut the curd mass into 2 equal parts. Wrap in linen cloth and put on a shelf. Molding and engraving takes place 2 days after wheels are brined for 40 to 30 days. Wheels are taken to a hot room to dry. See this one, they are forming like wheels. Wheels are taken to a maturing house to age for a minimum of 9 months. This is what they refer as a wheels. So, description and characteristic of Grana Padano. It has a thick, smooth rind and pale yellow in color. Fruity, intense flavor. Fragrant aroma. Crumbly and grainy texture. Manufactured in cylindrical wheels, minimum 9 months maturation. So it was manufactured in those wheels, the one in the pictures. So lastly, the most known of them all, Parmesan. It originated in the provinces of Parma, Reggio, Emilia, Modena, Bologna, and Mantua in Italy. In the Middle Ages, the Benedictine and Cistercian monks committed to finding a cheese that could last long were the first producers using the salts from the Salsomaggiore salt mines and the milk of the cows bred in their farms. So that's why it has a salty flavor. Sample dishes that uses Parmigiano Reggiano. Most of them you usually see this Parmigiano Reggiano sprinkled on top of your pasta. But this one, they have savory Parmesan cookies and a dessert, a mousse. It's called Parmigiano Reggiano mousse with pear cream and balsamic vinegar. So how to make Parmesan cheese? Partly skim milk is mixed with the whole milk and poured into copper cauldrons to heat. So they add whey to starter and rennet for it to curdle. Break down the curds, leave the curd to rest under the whey to let the cheese firm. Cut the curd mass into 2 equal parts and put it in a mold for 2 days. Age for 2 years or more. So this one, they almost have the same process of making the Grana Padano, but the Grana Padano was stored in wheels. Then the Parmesan cheese was cut in half. So this is the description and characteristic of Parmesan cheese. It has a straw in color, fruity, nutty, savory, and sharp flavor. It has a strong aroma, hard, gritty, dense, and grainy texture, perfect for grading. Aged for at least 2 years. Official name and year made is stenciled in the rind of the cheese cylinder. So that's all for extra hard cheese. Credits to our researcher Leslie Cedro, our PPT maker Alexis Alo, and your reporter Randy Araneta.